Hello, my friends. Welcome to our Friday YouTube Live here on my YouTube channel. I am Sarah McGuire from Sassy Paper Crafts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I am here to spark your confidence and creativity, making simple, easy paper crafts. And this is the card we're going to be making today using the Easter Bunny stamp set. I have been loving this stamp set all week long. It has 15 photopolymer stamp sets, which means you can see right through them. There is a coordinating punch that punches out this bunny here, but it is currently out of stock and it's not coming back until May. So well after Easter, it is very cute. I love Stampin' Up's punches, but I didn't use it at all this week because I wanted to show you that you can use the stamp set without the punch. So this is the card we're going to be making today. I did want to show you a couple of projects I did make using this stamp set. So this was Monday's YouTube video, and this is just a little friend card. It's blank on the inside, but it's got that fine sparkle shimmer paper. And then over in the Sassy Paper Crafters VIP group, I did a video making these adorable little gift bag boxes. So you can see that by clicking the link in the description of this video, heading over to the Sassy Paper Crafters VIP group on Facebook. And I have a whole YouTube playlist of exclusive videos just for the members of that group. Before we get into our card, let's talk giveaway. So last week, I showed you guys the Fitting Florette Designer Series paper sampler because I'm sick of winter, and this paper reminds me of spring. It is no longer available, but it is beautiful paper. Love it. Love this pattern especially. So the winner of this paper is Becky Lunetta. I hope I'm saying that right. Becky Lunetta. She commented on last week's live, and her name was randomly selected. So Betty, if you could send, or Becky, I'm sorry, not Betty, Becky Lunetta, if you could send an email to sassypapercrafts@gmail.com with your mailing address, I would be happy to send that out to you. This week's giveaway, again, thinking spring. I want you guys making fun spring crafts. So I am giving away the ladybug trinkets. These are adorable. They're so tiny and cute. I love them. So if you'd like to win this full pack here of ladybug trinkets, I can't talk today. Again, I have that problem sometimes. But if you would like to win this, just leave a comment on this video. I will draw a winner next Friday, March 31st, for the ladybug trinket. Speaking of March 31st, you have just about a week to use March's host code and get a free, for free, Fancy Flora card tutorials with your purchase. And with a $50 purchase, you'll get a free Take Your Pick tool, which has this fun spatula and paper piercer and putty end and all kinds of goodness. Love this tool. Use it all the time. So if you would like to get in on that, use this host code when shopping in my online store. And one more thing before we get started, March 31st is also the last day to sign up for my catalog survival kit. So the new annual catalog is coming, and I am giving a survival kit full of goodies to help you get through the overwhelm a new catalog can bring. If you would like to get on my list and you are not a current and you don't have a current Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, click the link in the description of this video to sign up to receive the new Stampin' Up! Catalog free directly from Stampin' Up! In April, and to get my survival kit for free. You have 1 week from today to do that. Hello, Mary. She has very cute Easter cards. Thank you. So let's get into this card. We are going to be doing a little bit of coloring, but let's get our stamping done first. So I'm going to need these Easter eggs, and I'm going to grab a C block for our Easter eggs. And then we need our bunny, and I want the little guy looking up because we want him looking at the butterfly. So I'm going to grab that bunny on a D block. Let's grab our butterfly on an A block. And then our sentiment, we're using 2 of the sentiments. This one here, the enjoy all the little moments, because I just thought that was cute. You know what? I'm going to grab another D block for that. And then Happy Easter is going on the inside. I'm going to grab a H block for that. And then we need our grass too. I'm going to use the B block for that because on the inside of this card, I stamped Happy Easter and then did some grass. Now, this is completely optional. I just thought it was adorable. So that is the stamps we're using out of this set. So let's do our stamping first. I have a scrap piece of basic white here. We're going to be using mostly Memento ink and a little bit of garden or granny apple green for that grass on the inside there. I am going to move this out of the way just because I don't want to get it all inky. And this is a top fold card. I don't know if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, but I asked what kind of card you prefer, a top fold like this one or the side fold. And most of you said side fold. Somebody even said they didn't like the top fold because it doesn't stand up. That stands up great. As long as you burnish your edge, they stand up pretty well. Anyhow, let's get on to our stamping. So I got my Memento ink. I'm going to move my granny apple green for now. We're going to ink up our eggs. And the reason I'm using Memento is because I'm using Stampin' Blends. If you want to watercolor your eggs and your butterfly, use StazOn ink. StazOn is great for watercoloring. It's not so great for blends because they're alcohol based. I've cut out a piece here using the Scalloped Contours dies. I used this guy here and cut it out of a regular piece of basic white. We're also going to be using this tiny one for our sentiment. I haven't done that yet, so I'm going to set that aside. And this is what we're going to be stamping on. So I'm just going to kind of, I want my eggs about there. I just want to see where I want my bunny. I'm going to ink up my bunny. And when the stamp is a little larger, I like to take the ink pad directly to the stamp. That looks good. I just kind of want to see, yeah, about there. Put him right there. Perfect. And then we're going to ink up our butterfly. Make sure I got him going the right way. I do. I'm almost to the tip of the bunny nose. Give that a second to dry. Then I'm going to grab my other piece of scrap paper, which is here. And we're going to do our enjoy all the little moments sentiment. Right there. And then this fits perfectly inside that scallop contour. We're just going to set that aside. And I need my card base, which is here. I'm running out of room already. So I'm just going to fold my card base just to make it easier for me to stamp. And this is a thick basic white. There is a bit of a difference between the thick basic white and the regular basic white. I'm just going to fold this up and grab Happy Easter. There it is. Ink that up with the Memento. Then I kind of line it up with my grid paper just to get it as straight as possible. And I like to do this first in case I mess up. You can make that your card front just by flipping that over. But that looks pretty good, so I'm going to keep it. And that is it for the Memento. So I'm going to put that away because I keep almost putting my hand in it. I'm going to grab the granny apple green now that we have our card base out and our grass. I'm just going to ink up the grass and start stamping the bottom. Now I'm kind of going up and down a little bit, and these photopolymer stamps are just so easy to see through that I don't get much overlap between the two. Like I overlapped a little bit, but you can't really tell. Like I love the photopolymer. You can see right through them. So that's it for granny apple green. Like I said, that part is mostly optional. I'm going to clean off my stamps quickly, put those away, and then we'll do a little bit of coloring. I do have a couple of Stampin' Blend colors. Like I said, though, if you don't have Stampin' Blends or you're not into markers, a water painter and your regular ink pads would work just fine. And you can use any color you like. I chose polished pink for my background, but you can use whatever color. I like polished pink. I thought that was kind of Eastery, so that's why I went with that. But purples, a light blue, anything really from the Subtles collection would go great with this card. I'm just going to pop these right back on there because I don't ever want to lose a stamp. It's happened to me before. It's terrible. pop these on here really quick, and then we will color. And coloring with blends, I love the Stampin' blends. They're so easy to work with. Get these blocks out of my way and grab my Stampin' blends. Now, this looks like a lot of Stampin' blends, but they come in combo packs. So I have Daffodil Delight, I have Polished Pink, Fresh Freesia, and Granny Apple Green. So really only 4 technically. There are 8 markers though. So we're going to start by coloring our eggs, and I'm going to use the light Daffodil Delight first. I am going to use the brush tip end. If you're not really a steady colorer or you're not used to the markers yet, go ahead and use the fine tip end. I feel like that gives you a little bit more control over the marker. For the butterfly, I'm going to use the fine tip end, so I'll show you kind of the difference. And then I'm going to go in with dark polished pink on this last egg here. I just want a bright, vibrant color. I want these eggs to look like they've been dyed. And then I'm going to use light polished pink on this checkered colored egg. And what I'm doing is I'm just kind of going every other one, if that makes sense, just because I kind of want that checkered pattern. And then I'm leaving spots blank. I'm going to do this one and that one. And then for my other egg, I'm going to go back with the, why do I have Granny Apple Green blends? I don't need these. I'm looking at the card going, why did I have those? So really, there's only 3 sets of blends here. I don't know why I grabbed the Granny Apple Green ones. I think I might have colored in. I tried something when I was making this card, and I colored something in. They just got left out on my desk. And so you don't need the Granny Apple Green ones. Don't know why I got those out. Now I'm going in with the light Fresh Freesia for these dots here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the dark to do a little bit of shading. So I'm going to go with the brush tip end of the dark. I'm just going to kind of pick a couple of them. I'm not going to do all of them, but just shade that a little bit. So that's our eggs. Those are done. Now let's color our butterfly. I'm going to go in with the dark Daffodil Delight for the spots, I guess, on the butterfly. And then light polished pink for the body, the wings, whatever you want to call them, the outside. And I just love how bright this light polished pink is. And that is really it for coloring. So now I want to fussy cut this out, and these eggs are super easy to do that. Fussy cutting is when we don't have like a die or a punch or anything to cut. My biggest tip for fussy cutting, I am not perfect at it, but my biggest tip is to move the paper and not your scissors. It just works out so much better. Now I'm leaving about a 1/16 of an inch, if that, of a border around these eggs. I'm just trying to do this and not mess it up. It's hard for me to talk and fussy cut at the same time. Again, it is a work in progress. My fussy cutting is getting better. That looks good to me, except for that little piece right there. Then I'm just going to round a little bit there. That looks good. And then we need to get these markers out of the way. Still, the Granny Apple Green. Why did I do that? We need to die cut our sentiment. So I'm going to grab my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now, the Scallop Contours dies, the bigger ones that are in there, do not fit in the mini. So if you're getting the whole set and you don't have a die cut machine, get the standard one because the larger dies don't fit. And also I'm using an embossing folder, and most of our embossing folders, it's a little crooked, hold on. Most of our embossing folders do not fit in the mini. So if you're trying to get into die cutting, I highly recommend the standard Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It's much much more versatile. You don't have to check everything in the catalog, everything Stampin' Up! Sells fits in the standard one. So there is our sentiment, and I could put my mini machine away. I just like having the mini for things like this to show you guys quick and easy. It's a compact little machine, so it is nice if you already have the standard one. It is nice to have the mini for traveling, if you go camping and want to craft, things like that. So like I said, I did emboss a piece. I used the Cane Weave 3D embossing folder. That is new in the January to April mini catalog. So I embossed a piece of polished pink with that. And that's what we're going to be layering our card on. Oops, I lost my eggs. So I'm just going to grab some seal, run it along the back of this panel, and just kind of center it. Whoops, upside down. Just kind of center it in that polished pink piece. Then I'm going to grab a couple of mini dimensionals. If you don't have the mini dimensionals, you can cut standard dimensionals in half, or even the outsides, the outer edge here of the Stampin' Dimensionals. And then this piece, you get a little, sometimes a couple of little pieces don't pop out. I'm just going to pop out some of those pieces that didn't cut all the way with my Take Your Pick tool. And then we're going to pop a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals, standard ones, on the back of that. There's two of them. And this is going to go into the top right corner. And then we'll put our eggs down in the bottom left. And I kind of hit his feet a little bit, like he was behind the eggs. And then before we put this on our card base, I have a couple of the opal rounds here. I really love these. They add some bling. I'm going to use the paper piercing side. Sometimes my putty doesn't want to work. But they add a nice level of bling without being too much. And I'm pretty sure normally these come in 2 sizes, but I'm out of the smaller ones. So I'm using 3 of the larger ones, just kind of randomly scattering them around. Now we can use our seal again, or your liquid glue, or whatever adhesive you prefer. I love Stampin' Seal. And we can put that on our card base. And that is it. So that is today's card. Again, don't forget to leave a comment to be entered to win this pack of Ladybug trinkets. I will draw a winner for those next Friday during our live. I hope you enjoyed this card today. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I post videos every Monday and I go live here every Friday. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time.